Yeah, so get a good look at a butcher by sticking your head up a bull's ass. No, that's not right. It's got to be your bull.
What?
I don't know, man.
All right, we'll just
I
leave the
don't do
jokes to me. We try to change it up, and
Yeah, you
this is
got
what
that.
we get. Yo, what's going on, everybody? How we doing today? I'm Mitty80,
No, I'm Chief.
and we are the ADHDads. Welcome into, what is it, episode 6? 7?
I don't know.
Episode 7, I think we're at.
I don't know. We're just in it. We're in it to win it. You
Dude,
know?
love it, man. Yeah, we're slowly upgrading everything, right? We got headphones on today,
Yeah,
which gives us some good feedback as to like what we sound like.
for sure.
Um,
Because there's nothing more I love than listening to myself talk.
I was about to say the same
Listening
thing.
to your own recording is terrifying.
I hate hearing my voice back, but it doesn't sound too bad in the headphones. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's all right. We've already talked about how to make the podcast 1% better next time. We're gonna get some splitters and stuff so we can hear each other.
Well, in the first couple episodes of this season, we had a couple mic mishaps.
Oh,
where
dude, and this is
we
yes,
just were talking,
and
but shit wasn't on.
I bumped the mute button.
Yeah,
Right, and it
so
wasn't
now
coming
it's like,
through.
all right,
and-
if I can't hear myself talk, I'm not talking. So
Exactly.
we're good. We're on it.
But yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, well, welcome in. How was your week been? How's everything been going?
It was all right. Pretty easy week at work. This week coming up is gonna suck shit. We got spring break, so wife and kids are off all week, which is fun for them. But it's also spring break for the other two guys that I work with, who also have children and everything. So they both went to Arizona yesterday.
Oh,
So I will be working this entire week by myself. And I already prepped my wife. I said, hey, just so you know, I'm working all week by myself, open to close. It's going to be busy as shit. And probably not going to be the happiest person out there. So just do
be
your
ready.
best. Just do your best and be ready. That's it. That's all I can do.
Yeah, we
So,
just went through spring break. So our spring break ends on Tuesday. Ollie gets Monday off of school. But we had a pretty good, productive, I guess you could say, spring break. That term spring cleaning, Brienne went ham, dude. Like, I mean, we're talking cleaned out drawers, cabinets. Do you even need this anymore? Do you use this? Throw it in a bag to donate. She took, I think, 2 full carloads over to Goodwill and Savers.
Nice.
To donate. And threw away a bunch of stuff that we just like had and stuff. And, typically we're one of those families who we can bring our garbage out, and if we miss it, it's not a big deal. It doesn't overflow or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We took it out last week, and within this week is spring break. It is, packed full. I'm like, shoot, I'm going to have to leave stuff in my garage to throw away for next week.
Yep.
Like, because of how much we went through.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's nice. Finally, we lived in the house for almost 6 years now, and we finally got some stuff hung up on the wall.
Yeah, it's good you're starting to move in, It's always fun.
The
we
entryway-
just moved into the place, and
Yeah.
I can't wait for 6 years where I can finally
You start hanging pictures.
start hanging
I
pictures.
think we just had to make sure, the house was structurally sound, right?
All right, well, we're not dead yet, so
Don't want to.
let's start drilling into her.
Don't want to. Exactly, My lucky to hang a picture. What did I tell you guys when you came in? We hung a coat rack up and thing, and I was like, yeah, like don't hang all the coats there. Like I'm not confident in my
Yeah, but I checked
mounting
the work.
abilities.
You got fucking 6 screws in it, so I assume
Well,
it's probably going to
there
hold.
was 4 that mounted. All
So
right, so
it's going to hold.
yeah, it'll be fine. I was just kidding, dude. I know how to hang stuff, but yeah. So no, that was kind of exciting. So we did that over spring break. Yeah, man. I don't know. My peppers are getting big. That's exciting.
It is good.
Sun's
It is
hitting 'em.
fun.
We had a very nice day the other day. It was like 73 degrees. Did you do anything?
Welcome to fucking Minnesota and Wisconsin.
The Midwest.
We went
It was
from
73.
we had 76
We had
in our town, and that was on Friday. It is now Sunday morning, and it was 23 degrees. So we had a full
Literally.
53-point swing.
Literally, yeah.
That
73 and it was 26.
ridiculous.
It's insane.
And we're pissed.
And then you look outside and you're like, oh, no, it's nice outside, right?
Oh,
The
it's
sun's
beautiful.
shining. Everything looks nice.
Nope.
And you step out there,
Nope.
you're like, what? Yeah, it's you got to love the weather in the Midwest, you know?
You don't have to, but you will.
Yeah. I do enjoy it, though. 'Cause
Stuffs it
you
down
do
your
get all
throat.
4 seasons, though. You know, and I think that's what I like. Or, you know?
It's like you get the 4, but the ones you like, just like it's like the feather, and then it just rams fucking summer and winter
like,
right up in you.
Growing up in Vegas, though, it was just hot.
Well, yeah,
all the
you
time,
had that, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, like, it's a good change for me.
I just remembered as a kid, it just seemed a little bit more even with time. Because, like, here, I mean, like, yeah, the snow's gone. That's great. And everything was wet for, like, a week. But then we'll get a couple thunderstorms. It'll be, like, 50 for, like, 2 weeks. And then you're right into fucking 85.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're just that for 4 months. Like,
Yep.
you don't get any of the spring. And then fall's, like, kind of nice. But then you'll have days where it's, like, 60, 50. And you're like, oh, it's great fall weather. Campfires. You're going to do all the trick-or-treating, Halloween stuff. But, like, the last couple of Halloweens, holy shit. It's been, like, 45 degrees and, like, wet.
Yeah, it's
for
rainy,
Halloween. And you're like,
rainy.
this sucks. And then you go right into winter.
Yep. It's like it's winter on Halloween, and you always get, like, false hope because, like, the day before or 2 days before, you're like, the weather's good. It's nice. Like, it's going to be a nice Halloween. And then something about...
Leaves changing. It looks great. You got big piles.
Yeah, like
it's
60
orange.
degrees. You're feeling
Yeah.
good. You're like, it's going to be a good year for trick-or-treating,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And then as soon as Halloween hits, it's like...
Fucking nightmare.
Snowstorm.
Yeah.
Cold. Rainy.
Freezing.
Like, you're like, what the heck
Yep.
happened, dude? Yeah.
But
I get it.
whatever.
I get it. Oh, but yeah. How's your workout routine been going? I know you're
It's going good. I'm on my solid 1 day a week.
But like
Crushing
it's a hard lift though,
Yeah.
right? It's a
Yeah, we go pretty ham Sunday mornings. It's a 2-hour workout. We don't work out the whole time. It's like a half hour, 40-minute warm up. But we're doing workouts to warm up, and then we hit it. Sometimes we switch it up with like a kind of a circuit deal, kind of a hit deal, or sometimes we'll introduce running. But usually it's a lot more power lifts of like the main movements. So your squats, your deadlifts, your bench presses, and then you can work on other muscles that you want to, whether that is, doing biceps, triceps, you want to, shoulders, whatever you want to do. But then Mel's been coming with the kids, which has been kind of fun. Can get a little much because they get a little whiny. So it depends on the day. Today, Jackson actually hit the workout really hard.
There we go.
He was loving it.
hell yeah.
Arya, a lot more complaining. Declan, usually we can get him to nap while we're there because he gets up early.
Yeah.
And we can like lay him on our jackets and then he'll like pass out. Like perfect. We can get our shit done. Today, not so much.
Yeah.
So he was all up in our business.
Aren't you like right outside the wrestling room too?
Yeah,
like,
but he doesn't want to stay in there by himself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, my
Like
thing.
kids will go.
Yeah, I was gonna say my thing. Like, growing up a wrestler, like, there's no better place to have a kid
Dude,
run
it's a
around
giant
than a
room.
padded room.
And they have balls. They have those not Nerf balls, but those
The
like,
medicine balls.
no, it's those like those dodgeballs that are like
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
the
foam, but
they're
it's like just a light layer.
the dodgeballs. It has that light
Yeah.
like plastic rubber
There's a bunch of them in there.
layer,
Just
and
play
it's
with
all
them.
just
Yeah.
like the memory foam that just
Yep.
and they're light.
Yep.
And
And then
they can't hurt you.
and there's like a giant like chest fucking speaker that's super
Yep.
loud, so we plug a phone in there. It's
Mhm.
like the best thing as a kid to like
Yeah.
run around. It's like going to Sky Zone just.
Oh, and like I said, a padded room, like
Yeah.
where
just
you
screw
can't
around.
get hurt unless you're trying.
And then it's just. What are you guys doing? We're fucking working out. This is the same thing we've done every week for the last
do you
like
see these
12
veins?
weeks.
I'm getting a pump.
Yeah, it's just annoying. But then they're like, "Well, we want to work out with you," and I'm like, "Okay."
I've been on a pretty good workout routine myself.
Oh yeah, I was
Actually.
done talking.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
But all right, go ahead. You can finish.
Thanks. That's what she said. But no, workout's going well. Sticking to it. I was saying, I don't know if I talked about this last week, but I maxed out last week.
Mm-hmm.
Felt pretty good. I haven't really ever maxed out. I've always lifted, but not maxed.
I know you told me. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast though.
Yeah, I maxed out at, I don't care what the comments said, maxed out at 255 on my deadlift, which I was very proud of. And then bench, sadly, was 185.
I think I could put up 185 still.
I want to get to at least my weight, of course.
But I always,
205,
I always loved benching though. I could hit my weight easy,
benching.
but
that's what I thought we talked about because
I have
long arms.
I think you and me talked about it on the phone.
Okay.
I think because we were still trying to figure out recording and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I always like benching. But you look at like our arm length, right? And like I'm pushing, the same weight, but a foot less than you have to push it, right? I mean, like
it's close to a foot. Yeah.
I mean, what's your wingspan? I don't know mine.
My wingspan is 6'6".
Like from
finger
tip to tip.
Tip to tip. Full spread. That's what it is.
I honestly, I don't know what mine is. I don't know what mine
it's
is. But I mean,
to be your height.
Your height. So like I'm 5'4".
The Vitruvian Man or whatever it's called.
Right. But like I don't know. But all I know is like I come down, I'm up. Right.
Yeah.
And I think I had a conversation with
insane to push this like this.
Like with someone a long time ago, and they were saying like shorter people like bench because they can build more on it, but they're moving the weight not as far. Yeah. Right. But it's the same. It's the same workout.
Say you're not lifting the weight. I'm not trying to take anything.
No.
Away.
It's just I don't have to move it as far.
A lot more mechanically. It's harder for me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's not saying if I do 250, it's the same as your 285. No. It's still you're lifting that weight.
It's the same weight.
It's the same weight.
It's the same weight.
It's just mechanically there's more what we call workforce, I believe is what it is. There's more work I have to do mechanically to get there.
Right.
But I can still,
But I mean, like I was always pretty good at bench though, and like I said, it's because I don't have to move the weight an extra foot, right? Yeah. You never see like super tall people who are just like they can. I mean, maybe
but like
they don't.
If it's not your profession,
exactly, exactly. Like they aren't benching a lot, but then you'll have the shorter guys and they're stockier because their benches.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
it's full extension, right?
And that's short little stocky guys that are just like big chest. Like I've tried to bench press and get a bigger titties my whole life, and it's just I've never got. So now I'm actually like trying now.
Yeah.
It's like all right, just do the work.
But there's a lot of other stuff too. Like you can implement like different flies. You can do like your different like dumbbell bench, like in different, reverse grip, forward grip, you know, different things you can do there to help shape that incline bench really helps too.
Well, and that's why that's why Sundays is usually the big workouts or whatever, because I don't know if I don't think I showed you that meme, but there's that meme I showed him last week. Solo leveling. You watching that?
Yeah, I am. I think I'm one episode behind. So
in the first that first dungeon where everything happens, and you got like the giant statues that sit in the chair, and then he makes all the people that come in there makes them bow to him. You know, so they took a freeze frame of that, and they said it shows like the one guy, two guy, three guys all in those giant chairs, and these things are like 250 feet tall.
Yeah, giant statues.
It just says squats, deadlift, bench, and then all the 20 people underneath that are all bowing to it is like, cable row flies and cable rows
and lat pull
like
downs
and lat pull downs and like all these like little workouts. It's like these are what you need to do. So that's why we focus.
Well, I mean, they're like the big three though. Like those.
They are.
Like,
I mean, they're definitely more of a complex movement.
I'm not much of a deadlift person.
I
should do it more. But when I do like deadlifts, I like doing they had that bar where it was like
X bar.
Yeah, where you stand inside of it.
Yep.
That's how I like doing it. I'm not a big fan of the like forward grip, reverse grip, like keep your pot, like, you know what I'm saying, like where you rub it on your shins. Yeah. Too many just on the shins coming up or like going down, and
for me
that's not fun.
Well, and another thing of being taller too is like your back. I didn't realize like if you don't I'm serious, if you don't keep your back in, like being taller sucks. Like your lower back constantly, and like obviously you have kids. So you're bending down, you're picking up, bending down, and like I can't tell you how many times I've like blown out my back or popped out a rib or done all this stuff, and it's so annoying.
Because then I'm
out for I blew up my own back. That's how good I am, and I'm out for a week and a half. Like it's horrible. It's the worst pain ever. You can't breathe, can't do anything, can't move.
Yeah,
can't walk.
For weightlifting, I would assume being taller does suck, but being tall doesn't suck because he can get the glasses that we store.
Well, yeah.
Really high in the cabinets.
Completely unrelated.
For no reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why we even use that shelf.
That's what I don't get, is you keep putting these up there every time I leave, and then I have to be the one to bring them back down. So
well, the thing too is like, I have to climb on the counter.
Yeah.
I feel like a kid. I don't know, maybe I do it because I feel like a kid again, climbing on the counter to get in that top shelf of cookies that,
Again.
But yeah,
Yeah. No, but that's why we worked at it. And I was talking to my buddy. He's trained for like powerlifting and stuff. So he's like 3 times stronger than I am in any single lift that we ever do. I mean, I think when I was trying to max, he was like trying to push like, I don't even remember. I think he was at like maybe 400 or 450
for
or
deadlift.
something. He was trying to like do that. I'm like, okay.
Like, thanks, buddy.
Using like a 4 plates on there. I'm like, all right, that's fine. I'm good with my 2.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah, that's fine. I was in a 2-plate club though. I felt pretty cool about that.
Dude, that was a big. I remember when I was in college and I first hit 225 on bench.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there and I was like, I was repping 185, and I did it.
Yeah.
I had like 3 or 4 times. And someone was like, "You can hit." He's like, "You can hit 225," and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "I don't know." And like in your head, like it's one of those things though. Like in your head, it's a milestone kind of thing,
Yep.
right? And you're just like, I'm not there. Like I can do, and you look at the bar and it's like 45, 35, 25, 10. Like,
Yeah.
and it's all the way down to like, and it's like, dude, you just throw 45. And it's like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it.
And that was the coolest thing about max lift, doing your max and getting. Everybody should do that at least once. Just see what your absolute output can be, one time. Because then you can base everything else out that, which is clearly just working on. I'm not reinventing anything here. This is how everybody else does it.
Right. You get your max as like your like, hey, this is what you can do, and then that's how you build your workout program.
That's it.
Like
that's
what you build it on, like percentages of your max. Like, hey, I know you did this. Well, we're gonna put in there that you 185. Let's just say 185 was your max, and you could do it once. Well, we're gonna put in like you're gonna do 155 3 times, and that's or 165 3 times, and that's tough. That's but it's percentages, and then when you can hit that 3 times, then you can do it consistently. Then next thing you know, hey, it's been 2 months, let's test your max.
Exactly. That's where and because I have such a big week coming up, I didn't want to be like fucking sore at work while I got to run around and do everything. Like, it's just going to add more. So I just did a 50, 60, and 68 to 70% of my max, which is easy to figure now, and be like, oh, okay, well, this is going to be the first set, second set, third set.
Right.
Boom. Like,
we did that.
It's way easier to write.
We did that in college, and I remember like the guy who was doing the he put together our weight programs and stuff like that. I was pretty fit in college. I could do like full on muscle ups from like a seated position. Like they have the ropes hanging up, and I'd have my arms up, and I'd be able to like pull myself up and boom in a seated position. So like it wasn't like a full like pull up and up. Yep. I was sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
And
they do those.
Yeah, I just remember I remember he would set like those maxes, and you would do them, but like he would like kind of cheat it a little bit. Like he'd bump your max up like 5 pounds, right? And then he'd do your percentages, so then you'd fail. You would literally fail on the lift, and you're like, I can't, like, you have me doing, 185 3 times. Like I can't hit 185 right now, And then I think like a lot of factors that play into that too, like especially during a wrestling season when you're trying to lift, is like you're cutting weight. Like you're not going to be at full strength to do that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So like it's crazy.
That's the hard thing. Like that's where dieting is such a huge factor, because like it's not beneficial to go rep all that, break all your muscle tissue, and then if you don't have enough to replenish that,
and start just cutting.
But then you start cutting, well, then you're just going to eat yourself.
Well, then it was crazy because
like
I retained the strength, right? Like, so like, again, I was able to do the muscle ups. I was able to do these like crazy ab workouts where I'm like holding at a 90 and able to like kick leg, you know, like all these different things. And like, but yeah, when it came to like maxing and they gave me the paper, they're like, this is what you're going to do. I'm like, I'm bumping the weight down personally, because like, not only do I know I'm going to fail, but like failing like that too sometimes, like mentally, is just like brings you down.
But at the same time,
I'm
just saying, at the same time, if you go into it knowing you're going to fail, well, then you're probably going to fail.
Well, and you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But I have a little bit more ego to me, where I'm like, I can fucking rep this shit.
Well, the other thing too is, again, like I said, like you're cutting weight, right? So I'm not eating all the food that I was when I went and repped, 225, right? I'm not 140 just lean. I'm 125 super lean, and I'm not.
Well, and you think about it, like even if you could bench press, if you could bench press 150, let's say, in high school, weighing 125, I mean, that's more than your own weight itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like the more you can do that, then when it comes to like lifting shit up, I mean, if you're only lifting say your bottom half is 100 pounds, like you can lift 100 pounds.
Yeah, it's actually funny.
That's what's cool about being fit.
Funny we're talking about 185. You said you could do it once. I actually set my bench up for 185 right now. We're both going to go hit it once. Are you ready?
I already worked out today. I literally came here right after my workout.
This isn't even fair. See, it's in your head now. It's in your head. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Well, I know what it is, and that's what I based my workout on, and I already worked out hours before I got here.
I'm just kidding. I didn't set the bench
tired.
up. But
my boobies are.
But you know what I'm saying? That'd be kind of funny to do. Like, bring the camera. Ready?
Well,
he did
that's
it.
what. Like I said, I was sad that I could only do the 185.
Don't be sad though. Like,
well, no, because my brother. So like I said, I barely did bench, and this is when I don't know. It was probably 10 years ago. He got really into lifting again, and he was in the gym often, and you saw it. I mean, he got bigger. He got a bigger chest, but he's a shorter guy too.
Yeah, compared to you. Compared to me, I mean, he's taller than me.
Yeah,
he's probably like middleman. Like if you're looking like AT&T bars, like me, Zach,
yes,
you,
that's exactly
right?
What it is. Yep,
you know,
exactly. I like that AT&T.
But anyway, okay, sorry, go ahead.
But no, he was he got his bench press up to 225 or like 200 or I can't remember what it was, but it was like 215, 225, something like that, and like he was like, yeah, fuck, I'm going for it, you know. And I was like, cool. And I just laid down and I did it once, and he was like, fuck that. Like he was pissed that I could just do it just as is. But then now that I've like obviously gotten more out of shape, I've gotten weaker, I've lost strength in the last 10 years or whatever, and then you go to start again, and I got the bar down one, and I got it up, and I was like, he's like, you can do it again. I'm like, yeah. I got it down, and I just went,
help.
Can't do it. And like when you are giving everything you have and you can't move it, it is frustrating. It is because not a lot of people, and I guess, well, wrestlers, I feel you get this a lot where you can get into a position or pin where you can't move, and that's not a very familiar position for me to like.
Yeah. Oh, when you're in a position, you're like, I'm stuck.
Yeah,
I can't.
No matter what.
Bridge. I can't like.
There's nothing you
fight.
can. You're just stuck there. Somebody's like holding you. It's not like claustrophobia, but it's kind of like, you know, to be submission where you can't do anything. Mm-hmm. That's such a weird thing for me, and it's like it doesn't make me panic by any means, but it pisses me off more that it's like, no, I can fucking, you know, and you try to give it and you just can't. You know, I got it maybe an inch. So I was like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't know much about that, dude. I don't get pinned, so
yeah.
You and me both, brother.
Yeah, I was showing Brienne some of those immovable position. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I've definitely been there though. Like you pull the bar down, you don't even pull the bar down. And you're trying to bring it down, and you're like
you're trying to stop it from.
And like
down.
you're like it's gonna crush me. It's gonna crush me. And you're okay, it's down. And like, dude.
Well, it's crazy that you can hold the weight there,
right?
But there's no functional press. It's like you're like, I can just hold the weight here, but eventually I can't.
Right? Yes.
But yeah, no, but it was fun. It's good to get back in. And then I was telling him today too is like the reason that I want to, you know, actually take this seriously now, obviously for fitness, you know, dad life, family life, you know, health. We want to do that a little bit more. But no, I mean, I want to keep track of a lot more of that stuff and actually see the gains and stuff. But the hardest thing, honestly, is it is really hard to work out another time during the week
for your schedule.
Yeah, just for my schedule, and you know, it's because it's hard to come home after both me and my wife worked all day and to go, okay, I'm gonna disappear for another 2 hours. You got the kids by yourself. And then I come home and it's like maybe an hour with them, and then it's like bedtime. Mm-hmm. You know, and they're like, "We'll go at night." And it's like, well, then I'm up late.
Right.
You know, and then, you know, there's just so many factors that come in that you're like, "Fuck." But the guy I was following, he does RP strength, his Renaissance periodization. He was talking like the biggest jump if you're looking for gains in strength training is like 1 day a week is good. You know, you're going to see progress. It's obviously just going to take a while. But he said from doing it 2 times a week is like the biggest increase. It's like 30 to 35% increase doing twice a week workout strength training. Then he goes, you go from 2 to 3 and do 3 times a week. He's like, you obviously see an improvement, but it's maybe like 10%. You know? and then from 3 to 4 is like 5%, and then from 4 to 5 is like maybe another 5, maybe 10%.
Right.
So it's like, if you're gonna do it, he's like, go 2 or 3 times a week. If you're gonna go, even if you went 2 times a week, it's such a drastic improvement in gains that you'll see by just doing that. So I was like, all right, because you see these guys are like, gotta go in there 5 times a week,
Right.
break that muscle down, get it back up, protein. You're like, okay, I can't do that. So,
See, it's,
but if I can carve out a Wednesday, Thursday, midweek, just that's our day to do it. Boom, get another one in. I feel.
See, and that's where it's nice. Like, I have some equipment here. Obviously, I got a
Yeah,
treadmill,
and I
a bike,
don't.
and
Yeah,
like,
I will
so
get there. But
what I do, like, I'll do, for example, like chest and like upper back kind of thing, or I'll do like chest and biceps, like one day or whatever, or I'll do back and biceps one day, and I'll like start and do like I'll do like chest and like mainly focus on like chest and like triceps kind of, and the next day I'm doing biceps and like upper back. Then I'll do like a day of like lower back core, and then I'll do one day of legs, and then sometimes I skip legs. I'm not gonna lie, like I hate working out my legs.
my entire life.
I hate working out my legs. I mean, I feel like I got some pretty decent sized like calves and like
You don't mind. We talked about this already.
like I got some nice
chicken legs.
nice glutes, you know,
You got,
and
I
some.
will say you have a nice little bubble butt.
But I think that's a lot for wrestling
It's one
because
of
the
the first
stands
thing-
and you're
yeah,
like, you
It's
know,
one of the first things I said. It's like, dude, you got a little bubble butt. I don't have one.
I'll
but
I'll take it.
gotta
Thank
do
you,
one.
thank you. Yeah, a lot of work, but no, like I do skip leg days because I'm just
Yeah.
like I hate working out my legs. But like I'll do this like little thing, and I don't work out like guys. I'm not in over here just 2 hours, 3 hours a day,
Yeah,
like,
for
pumping
real.
iron. Like no, I go in there and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hit a set of this. Let me go do this. But I'm like increasing the weight, so I'm like doing heavier weight, lower reps, and then taking 10 minutes in between, 5 minutes in between before I go and do my next set.
Which
Right.
Yeah.
And giving my muscles a chance to like, okay, cool. We're recouped, ready, hit it again. And, by the third or by that like fourth day, if I'm not doing legs that day, I jump back into chest and I hit chest again, and I'll take like 2 days off kind of thing. Or if it's an off day, I hit my running, I hit my cardio. But yeah, I've just been trying to just do it every day. It's like now that wrestling season's over, I'm not going and working out, 3 times a week like I was, getting my cardio up, working, throwing, things like that. Now it's, like I'm actually trying to stick to a schedule. And it's been working pretty good. I've been doing a lot more home cooking. This whole week we've done
It's always better.
we've done like fish. I've done chicken. I've done I made homemade quesadilla burgers the other day. Turned out really really good. The only thing, I didn't season the meat enough, guys. And I'll just say this: when you're seasoning ground beef, go heavy,
Dude.
because it absorbs so much of the flavor, and you don't realize it. You
don't understand too. Like, granted, if you went and got like seasoned salt or some of those pre-mixed ones, like I have every seasoning just as itself.
Yes.
I don't have a combined one.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those contain different things,
Yes.
like anti-caking stuff, and then like a lot of salt, But like, yeah, I mean, you need like in America doesn't really season their stuff. I would say more white people don't really season their stuff, because I can't say Americans, because there's a lot of Americans out there that came from different areas that they fucking season their meat, and that's why it fucking tastes so good.
Mm-hmm.
And like when you got guys that are like salt and pepper, that's
Like
it.
yeah,
You're
little
like,
little
okay,
pinches like
but
this. Like that's
not
not
gonna
gonna
like,
flavor it.
No, if you want salt and pepper, that's fine. But like, put some fucking salt and pepper on it.
Like
you have to almost over season a little bit.
So with
and it's good for you. It's fine.
with cooking all this stuff at home too. Like I feel like it's a lot healthier than ordering.
Yes.
And we were joking. I was joking on my stream the other day too, because I made homemade quesadilla burgers, and the way that I did it is I threw the ground beef in, the seasoning. I diced an onion, threw the onion in there, threw cottage cheese in there.
Hell yeah.
I like to do cottage cheese in with the ground beef. It adds like juiciness and flavor. It's really good, guys. If you haven't, cottage cheese in with the ground beef, it like plumps up the meat, I guess you could say, without like
it's kind of like a Juicy Lucy, but
but it's like really in there, right?
Really in there,
And but yeah, we were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, like the difference between making a quesadilla burger at home versus Applebee's is,
Dude,
there's not the plate of grease that you get from.
I'm not trying to downplay any of those fast food places. Look at the fucking thing. Go on the menu and look at, it's a 500 calorie thing. Applebee's is terrible at this. Where you were like, oh, it's 500 calories though, like the shrimp skillet. This is the skillet ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
But look how much salt is in those things.
Yeah.
It's like 1,900 milligrams
It's
of salt.
insane.
And it's
well,
like,
no, and
this is
then
not
we were
healthy
just
at all.
joking. It's like, yeah, it's just funny. Like when you go to pick up, half the weight of the burger is grease, and it's all like falling off.
Well, yeah,
because
they're using 80-20, of course, and not like more leaner meat because
But
you got to make it taste good.
So I was making it at home, and but yeah. So guys, when you season your ground beef, like I said, go a little heavier on. It's okay to go heavier.
Change the color.
Now, when you're doing chicken, it's different than
I do
ground
the same.
beef, right?
I do the
I
same.
see. I don't, and my chicken comes out really good,
Well,
right?
like
It's
the guy that I referenced when you said that to season. There's a guy I watch on TikTok, and he's like, "All right, this is what we're doing. We're doing meal prep. Here's your chopped chicken." And he goes, put the list of the seasonings in. And he goes, if it doesn't change color, then you don't have enough. And like, I mean, you want it from whatever color chicken is to that pinkish stuff.
Oh,
I get it done till it's like deep maroon.
I've been doing a lot of paprika with my chicken lately, and so so it's like you're doing it, and it's crazy. You add the olive oil, the paprika, the maybe a little like I don't know, maybe oregano or parsley, depending on which one I'm kind of feeling. I go based on smell, and like if I smell it, and I'm just like.
This is kind of that Mediterranean Greek style.
And I smell it, and I'm like,
jerk style.
this is what we want today, right? So we do that, and then we do a little bit we do the salt, we do the garlic, the onion powder, right? And you mix it all up, dude. And like, it's funny because you smell it, and it's just like, it smells so like earthy, like just like, oh, dude, it's like, it smells so good. But I've been doing my chicken, I don't cook the full breast. Like, I cut it up. Yes. So I do chicken cubes. And like, I feel like that's way better when you cook chicken because you're not ending up with like a really dry middle and like a moist outside around and crusted. You're getting crusted, moist, flavorful pieces of chicken every time you cook it. And like so I make it, and Brienne, it's funny, she's like, it's my favorite. Like I will eat it every day. And I even had my niece and nephew over. I watched them the other day, and my nephew, he's not the biggest fan of like meats. Right, and I guess like he's slowly been like getting like more of the protein and stuff, and like I cooked him chicken and he like ate it, and I heard him at the table. He turned around to Oliver and he goes, "Oliver, do you eat this every day? Because this is amazing." And like he was just pounding it, like, and I was like, that made me feel good. I was like, I'm doing something right. Like
we should make our own seasoning because that's where I was saying like honestly, if you had onion, garlic, salt, pepper, paprika. Talk about such a base seasoning.
Yeah.
And you can do it on whatever the hell you wish to do.
Everything.
Yes.
Yes. And it's like
if you guys don't have any other seasonings, you need those 5 seasonings. Put them on anything you make. Boom.
Yeah, and then when I do it with the chicken too, like I said, you throw a little olive oil in there too to really get it kind of. Yeah. But like it just brings out like there's a smell to it too when you're cooking it, and it's like a really good, like earthy. It almost makes me want to eat the raw chicken because I'm like, God, that smells so. And you can't, guys. Disclaimer: don't eat raw chicken.
And like you said too, and obviously if you get the raw ingredients, it's definitely better. Like if you get the garlic and like you cut up an onion, just substitute that for your seasoning.
Yes.
And put those in with the oil, like you said. Let it, I think it says aromatic. So you get the aromatics. But that, I mean, it will elevate everything. You could literally do like onions, garlic, salt, put a little tablespoon of butter in there, and just boil some noodles. Throw that in there, toss them together with a little Parmesan cheese, and you're like top tier Italian restaurant. Your spouses will be like, "Holy shit, what is this?" And so like just butter noodles.
So
it's just
I did,
with some extra stuff. Like that's all it is.
So I did fish. I did fish the other day, and Brianne's not a big fan of fish. Like not my fish, but just fish in general. She's not a big fan. She said it's like a texture thing or something like that. And this was probably the best like fish I've ever cooked. Like
Okay, how'd you do it?
So one thing I say is, and I've learned this through experience, if you're doing fish, you always use butter. Do not use oils. Don't use like olive oil.
Yes.
Don't use like vegetable oil.
Sometimes it depends on the fish, but most of the time they're relatively
use
oily,
butter with fish, right? Butter is like something about like the salted butter, the way it like absorbs into the fish. Oil, I feel like it kind of rejects like the flavors of the fish and everything. It like combats it, and it's not very good. But I did butter. I did what did I add? I added garlic. But we did like garlic, right?
Yeah.
We did some garlic. So we had a garlic butter kind of in the pan ready to go, and all I seasoned it with, we did some salt, we did some pepper.
So you did a pan sear?
Yep, like a pan sear, like on with my cast iron, dude. You've seen it. I use that cast iron for
No,
everything,
I just didn't know if you baked it.
No, we pan seared it.
Right.
So put it on there. You had it. You flipped it once. You flip it twice. And I flip it a couple
3
times.
You just playing with yourself, right?
All the time. But I like to flip it a couple times, kind of thing. Like make sure like each side is getting a little bit of love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then what you do too is like what I did was I tilted the pan so you got that all the spices. And like I said, it was just like salt, pepper, and then you take that and the way the fillet like was cooking, dude, it was like.
Go ahead, say it. What were you doing?
You know, hang on. It was spreading. It was like opening up like crevices in the fish, and then you just take that and you like kind of baste it. You just
baste it.
baste it. Baste the shit out of that.
You gonna deglaze that pan?
Deglaze the shit out of it.
Take some
with
some
some
red wine,
shallots.
not too much.
Not too much. Some red wine. No, but no, you
That's
tilt
the
the pan.
funniest
I
thing.
tilted the pan over, and then I was like literally like pouring like the butter into like the creases of the fish, and I feel like I could have maybe had it on the stove for another minute or two, but otherwise it was like really good. I was like, wow, that's probably like some of the best fish I've ever made.
And I will say, whenever you're doing like the whole thing, like steak or chicken or anything like that, if you cut it up, you don't have to worry about it. But if it's the full piece, letting it rest is such a huge
because
thing, too.
it's still
Don't
cooking.
cut into it
it's
right away.
still cooking.
Still cooking, and it's sealing in all those juices, and it's keeping everything. The second you do that, spills all over the fucking table.
Yep, when you're just like, oh, I gotta cut into it, and I've done that before. Obviously, like you know, you're excited to see like what does the inside look like. Well, you cut it to see the inside. Well, guess what? In 5 minutes, that's not gonna be the inside. Like it's gonna be darker and darker because it's like cooking and heating or cooling. I mean, you know.
Well, and what's funny? So funny story. I'm gonna call
No,
I'm gonna call them out right here a little bit. Not really, because I agree with them. So it's nothing against them. But so my family grew up with I don't know, hockey pucks for steaks.
okay.
I mean, well done. And I just thought that's what steak tastes like. So I never really liked steak because it was so chewy. It was the worst. Like, you know, and you got people that eat steak all the time. Like, I eat it all the time, whatever, you know. It's horrible. I hate steak because of the way I grew up eating it. Same with pork chops and chicken. I love you, Mom.
I love you, Mom, too, but she already knows my stance. Mom, you did not make pork chops the best.
I think I said this on the podcast, but when you walked in after school and it was fucking sauerkraut and pork chops,
like
horrible.
But
it smelled through the whole house, and you're like, fuck, I don't want to eat this tonight. How much ketchup can I put on this thing until it tastes fucking good?
dude, my older brother used to eat ketchup with his ketchup. Like
Oh
he
my God.
he,
So bad.
love
But-
you, Mom.
I love you too, Mom. But we were talking about, like, because my parents, that's what they do. And then when they get their steak, they cut it all up. They cut it into all the pieces right away. And I remember my brother's wife, she was like, that's not, you don't, like, why do you cut it into all of it right away? You're letting everything out. You know, they don't let it rest or anything. And I was like, I agree. That's what, I was like, that's not what you're supposed to do. And, you know, and nobody else, like, you know, they just kind of made the comment. And she was just like, yeah, you're supposed to just let it rest. And you're supposed to just, you know, cut your piece off at a time and, you know, savor it. And I was like, yes, that's what you're supposed to do. And then my parents are like, oh, I don't think it's a big deal. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, then, you know, like, we know you don't. It's been, we know that.
That's been established.
Yeah, but when I've watched, you know, like, I've watched a lot of Gordon Ramsay. I've been trying to learn some skills and stuff. And, like, just things I've noticed, like, yeah, man, you should at least let it rest for as long as you cooked it. Make sure you sear both sides so you trap everything in. And, yeah, it's in temperatures are always kind of a big deal. But, yeah, I mean, and now that we've been cooking steak and we got that cow that we got in. Did I tell you that?
You did.
Yeah.
I told you too because I remember you
Oh,
were
I
talking about a
forgot to bring
story,
you
and I was
shit.
just like, I
Yeah,
have
bring you
a
a couple
freezer in
things.
my garage which we use for like bulk because we used to go to Costco a lot. We honestly haven't been in like 6 months, but we used to go a lot, and we bought it because my freezer went out, my fridge and freezer, so we had to buy a like outside freezer to put everything in, so we didn't spoil everything. And it was funny. I remember It's just funny about Costco. Like, I tell Brienne, like, she's like, "Oh, should we buy this?" I'm like, "Why are we buying waffles? What are you gonna do with 72 waffles, Brienne?"
Well, they don't really
like,
go bad.
They don't, but 72 waffles, like you're fed for 2 months, 3 months.
But then, I mean, I love waffles.
Okay, I do too, but the space.
But,
the space.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, where am I going to put a cubed box of waffles?
Like, I can't have those.
On my health journey.
Like, I could eat 72 of
Dude,
those
waffles.
in like 2 weeks.
Do you like waffles or pancakes better?
Waffles, hands down.
Well, waffles are just pancakes with abs.
That's okay.
Like, when you break it down. Like
it.
it's the same thing.
I like the little
just
holes.
cooked different, right?
And
Dude, my favorite thing. Peanut butter or, like, you do syrup and, like, you had to fill every hole, right? Every hole. But, no, anyways.
I layer it.
Yep, and then you fill every hole.
Right there. And then I cut a triangle piece, and I fork it, and I eat all 4 layers at one bite.
Dude, yep.
Every time.
I do 3 waffles, and I try to make it last. So you cut like I'm only gonna do a 2x3 section here.
Yes.
And I'm gonna.
Yes. I always get it down to a square.
Yes,
like,
and the middle. You always save the middle for last because it has all the flavor, everything. You save that middle. It's
hands down.
All right. Anyways. But yes, you told me about the cow because I have a freezer outside, and I told you.
I know.
If you wanted to, no pressure, because.
I gotta get you some more venison sticks too.
Oh, dude, if you would like to, no pressure, lots of pressure.
Yeah.
I will take them. But yes,
absolutely.
I have the freezer. So with the plan, if you want to, you could bring over the meat. We throw it in the deep freezer, and then that way, when you guys come over in the summer, if I know you're coming over on Saturday, I throw it in the fridge Friday. Let it thaw. Bam, we got burgers.
The best part too is like how they rolled these too. Is they put them in almost pound and like 3/4 packages.
Like, are they in like the sausage, like the you buy the ground beef?
No, they're in the meat wrap, the white wrap.
Okay.
Butcher's paper.
Okay.
So they have it in that, but they're like they're like your sub there. They're like that big. So yeah, it's like 1.5 pounds, 1 3/4 every single one, and I got like.
So you said you got a bunch of stuff though. You got ground beef, you got steaks,
you got steaks, you got different roasts. They also gave us liver and the bones. So,
and you're gonna make a tallow or something, right?
Yeah, we've dabbled in the tallow a little bit. I want Mel to kind of reprise that role a little bit and do some more tallow stuff because we did whip tallow and made lotions and things. And honestly, like, we're not just saying this because we use it, but like we use it for diaper cream. Declan's like never had like
red butt.
Never had it.
I love how we just the term for red butt.
Absolutely, yeah.
But like if you're a parent, like red butt.
Or the older kids, itchy butt.
Itchy butt. You have itchy butt. You have red butt. You got itchy butt. But itchy butt, that's more of like a personal like we got to retrain like how to wipe.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's on you. That's.
Well, and then my daughter has. You've seen like she has like those little bumps. Like sometimes people get bumps on the back of their arms.
Like little like Ollie gets that a lot too.
It's like little
on the back. They're little bumps. If you run your hand across it, it feels like you can feel the bumps.
But you know what's crazy? I have almost none since we started cooking all of our own meals and not going out and eating like junk food. Almost gone.
I've also noticed too since I've been cooking my food, my wiener's grown 3 times.
Great. You're up to 3 inches. I love it, dude. I'm happy for you, man. It's awesome.
I'm just kidding. No, but no. I mean, that's true though. Like because of the
she
different.
also has it other places too, right? And so we've used that as a cream instead of getting like the fucking going to the dermatologist and putting all those other things. Not saying they don't work, but some of those things they put on there, it's just there's so many chemicals.
Oh
that
yeah.
I'm like,
yep.
It might clear it for a day, but then it comes back worse, or people,
right.
And thankfully, I've never had to really deal with eczema or anything like that. Neither has Mel. So hopefully, our kids don't do that. But I mean, you see those people that have just had it really, really bad, and I get it if you got to go to some like super strength stuff, but at the same time, that can't be like normal. There's got to be something else.
No, yeah, 100%. There's got to be
built a certain way that
right.
There's some kind of stress, some kind of hormonal thing.
Like you look at animals. You look at animals like throughout the years, and they don't just pop up with.
No.
All this different stuff, like
no.
It's not like that's a common theme, and like now in dogs is da 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 like skin condition this and this.
I'm really happy you went there because every time somebody talks about that, they're like, well, dogs, like some like labs have hip dysplasia and like shit.
Usually bigger dogs usually get really bad hip dysplasia.
Yeah, but the thing is though too is you got to remember. They were their own
dogs.
Species,
dogs is hard because we crossbred so much, and like we.
But then you took it specifically to a certain breed of them.
Yeah, we've
So
crossbred
it went from crossbreeding to get different kinds,
domesticated,
and then we just inbreeded all of those those same kinds.
Yeah, so that's gonna cause issues. But I mean, you look at we'll say non-domesticated animals, right?
Oh yeah, any wild animal.
Yes, they don't.
Dude, they
like
you don't find cancer out in like wild animals.
There's this when I lived in
sometimes
when we first moved to Woodbury, I had a neighbor who I used to talk to them all the time. I'd bring the dog out, they'd bring their dog out, and we just sit and chat, and then she was just like, yeah, like, and she's this Asian lady, and she was like, yeah, back in the day, like, we didn't have, like, dogs didn't have these problems that we just get them today. Like, they didn't have this anxiety and the stress and this da-da-da. They didn't have that. They broke their leg. Guess what? They died in the wild. Like, that was it kind of thing. Like, that was, like, we didn't have all this added stuff to it. And it's just like, the more we modernize, like, medicines and things like that, right? It's like the more problems, right? It's essentially like a Band-Aid. Like, yeah, that'll solve this problem, but in 20 years now,
I think I've told you too. I had an ex-girlfriend that had a little Shih Tzu. His name's Baxter. He's definitely dead now.
Wait, you had an ex you dated before Mel?
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
Many times. But no, she had a dog named Baxter, and he's a cute dog. He's a little Shih Tzu dog. But the guy
those aren't cute.
He had fucking eyes that went the other ways, and he had hip dysplasia. So he'd like when he like got tired, he would just drag his back legs. It was like,
dude.
And he was like 12, 15, I don't know. He was old. And her mom was telling me they were spending almost $1,500 to $2,000 a month for his medication. Fuck no.
Like,
let him outside for a week. Goodbye to Baxter. Like, I told Mel, like, we have 2 dogs. We love them dearly, and they're coming up on 9. We don't take them to the vet.
See, so that was
they're just gonna live their life. And when they go.
And that's the thing. I did the same thing, and I had Shadow for forever, right? And at the end there, right, she developed a mast cell tumor.
Yep.
On the outside of her leg, but then like when you looked at the inside, you'd saw the inflammation, and it was just like it had spread so almost secretively, right? That by the time it showed, it was like, holy smokes, like. Mm-hmm. We don't know if it's spread. We can't, But, like, you could see, oh, no, there's a tumor there. There's a tumor there.
It was bad.
And so at the end there, it was more, we could have paid, I think it was like $3,000 to try to get the outside one removed here. And, the vet advised me. They were like, like, I've had stories where we did the surgery and 6 months later, bam. But they were talking, like, removing her leg. Essentially, they would have they were like, because there's not enough skin there to tie that back together, but then this and that, and they were going through all this stuff, and they were like, I mean, we could take the leg because of where it's at, like on the inside of the thigh and stuff there, and it was one of those. It was like I never had to bring her to the vet. We did obviously yearly for shots, give her rabies, give her
our dogs stay strictly inside.
But I mean,
let me just clarify that they don't run out. And
I mean, mine too, for the most part. After I think the first year of puppies or whatever it is, it's 3 years rabies and stuff, distemper and stuff. It's every 3 years or whatever. So you just bring them in.
So we did all that.
Yeah. So every 3 years or whatever it is.
But after that,
but I don't bring Lola in for wellness checks because I don't bring her in for she's fine. But with Shadow. When it came down to it, it was one of those, like, I said the same thing. Like, when it's time, it's time. But in the moment, I was like...
But it is sentimental, though.
It was,
because you got... think about it. She was 15?
No, she was 12, almost 13.
But you bought her at a different time.
I bought her when she was 7 weeks old. I didn't buy her. I inherited her.
Well, I'm saying, but you got her with a different mindset then.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to love this dog forever.
Yes.
Right? So then when you're getting to the end of the road... that comes back up. I told her, I said, we can get a dog, but these are the rules. We're not spending extra money on this shit. I'm not doing any random surgeries. If they have cancer, we'll put them down. It's just what it is.
So, that was the point I was getting to, too, is like, we were at the point where we were looking and we were just like, oh, it's $3,000 there, da-da-da. And I remember Brianne was like, she was always in the mindset of like, no, like, we're not going to spend all this extra money on the animal, whatever animal it is, right?
It's an animal,
and so she was like, But then it came time to that, and it was funny. She flipped her switch so quick because she knew how much I cared, right? So she was like, well, what do you want to do? What should we do? We can figure it out. And it was just kind of one of those, like, after talking with everybody, we're like, you know what? Honestly, like I'll get the medication wasn't expensive for her. I think it was like $40
really
for,
like 40, 50
and
bucks
it was essentially more of just a steroid and like a pain reliever if she was showing signs of pain, and it was more just make her comfortable until it was time.
Yep.
You know, and it wasn't one of those, because at the end of the day, right? It's, you know, you're looking at putting 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 10 grand even on surgeries and da-da-da. And don't get me wrong,
I got 3 other animals I got to take care of before I take
and I love my dogs, but it was one of those. It was like, let's just make her comfortable. Like, what's, you know, and I talked to the vet, and they were like, you can give her this. It can maybe help reduce the size. This was for pain, and I think it was like $50 or whatever, $100 maybe max. For the 3 medications, and that was 3 medications, you know. But yeah, it's one of those, make them comfortable. Like, you know, it's the same way when I go. We don't need to do, because you know, I heard a funny twist on it. Like, doctors, like, they don't save your lives; they prolong your death.
That's
right.
We talked about that, where it's like, listen, like, people think that hospitals are there to cure you. That's not the main goal. The main goal is to keep you alive.
Yeah.
That's the main goal.
Yep.
So, like, when people go, like, well, there's so many advancement in technology and stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, but that exists and we don't need to get into it, but that exists in, like, the vaccines, where we actually did cure something that will not come back.
Like polio.
Yes.
Right?
Or
like
measles or stuff like that.
It shouldn't come back because we have the cure.
When people are like, oh, you know, I don't want to say it.
Which is why I believe you should. But the flu shot is pointless.
Well, the flu shot is a shot with a gamble that they're going to give you the right protection against the right strain,
but there's so many strains, and they pick the variant, or they're like, hey, we've seen flare-ups of this one. They take a huge sample size and they put it into a computer, and they're like, yo, the influenza type Q is the one that's high right now. Out of, you know, the 1,000 of people, it showed up 600 times. We're going to give everybody influenza Q, and hopefully because that was the highest percentage, right? And that's how they do it. That's how they narrow it down. It doesn't cure the flu.
It doesn't cure the flu.
So I refuse. So I will never get a flu shot.
And it's not a vaccination. Same with COVID. It's not a vaccination.
Nope.
It's a shot to help you protect against whatever it is. And it helps make you milder symptoms. Now, yes, if you're high risk and all that stuff, and it has taken people, I get that. But a lot of those people were, you know, usually in the older category, had other things going on. And this is not my little grandstand of it, but this is just what I believe. So if you're healthy and you don't need it, or if you're going to get sick, that's how the body used to be. I mean, we've gotten so, like, tight on this, where it's like, remember when he had chicken pox parties and you were like, oh, hey, your kid has that?
Timmy has one. Hey,
over.
Ben's coming to sleep over tonight.
Like, even, like, you know, and we go back and forth sometimes, obviously, like when your kid gets sick or my kid gets sick and we hang out, and all of a sudden
I'm just like, dude, I'm sorry, like, it was my fault, my bad.
You know, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, that sucks, because it's like potential days off work I got to take off, there's PTO I got to burn, or there's things we got to do. They go to daycare, so we got to take them out of daycare. There's different things that obviously it affects us more on the social level of that. But that's not, I'm not mad that my kid's sick. I mean, that helps them get better.
Right.
No, that's how we're supposed to.
When I say sorry, it's more of like, I'm sorry to, like, that we inconvenienced you, right?
Like,
that it happened because we knew that Ollie was patient 0, or we know Jackson was patient 0 this time around, and that's why everybody in our families is sick, right?
And like yours was, like, if it's a cold, all that stuff, that's what we're talking about. I'm talking about, like, when Ollie had strep.
Yeah, you walked in the door. I'm like, Ollie's going to the doctor right now, guys. Stop. Like, I don't know if you want to walk in the house.
We're like, nope, we're out.
And
so we
he's like, all right, cool. We'll get on it, which is why we did post.
Because we know what strep is. Jackson had it 7 times in
I
6
think
months,
I had it 100 times growing up. I had strep all the time.
Adenoids out. So we had to, like, send him to surgery for that shit.
Yeah.
Because he got it.
I do remember that, yeah, because I remember he couldn't talk, and he was like,
yeah. And so we had to do that. So that, like, obviously sickness that way, but yeah, I mean, when it's like, I'm not that mad to get, like, if my kids get a cold or get sick, it's like, that's fine, but that's their little bodies taking it on the stuff, and it sucks watching your kid be sick. But again, if there was no inconvenience to me like job-wise or anything like that, then yeah, I mean, it happens. I mean, it's better they do that than live in a fucking
See, and I feel like
their whole
I
life.
feel like being the stay-at-home parent too. I feel like that's like.
Well, it helps big time.
Well, no, it helps, but it sucks because I'm the one that ends up getting sick too. You know, and it's one of those. It's like for it to. I feel like right, and I don't know. Maybe you know.
Well, you get whatever you get from school.
Well, right. So hang on. So I feel like when it hits me, like it has to be a pretty strong strain to hit me. Right. I'm like 35 years in of an immune system that is like built up. Like it knows, hey, that virus is coming. We can beat it. Right. So like for example, like knock on wood. I mean, it's been long enough though. But like nobody in the house got sick when Ollie got strep. When we found out it was strep, I feel like we caught it early enough where we brought him in. They're like, he tested positive. This is what it is. Boom. Nobody else got it. But, like, he'll come in with, like, yo, he's got the flu. He's da-da-da. Next thing you know, everyone in the house, like, including me, is just like, oh, my gosh. Like, this is it? Like,
well, and that's what I think. Mel being the school nurse at an elementary school, she's, like, fucking, she's got gator blood. Or tiger blood. What does Charlie Sheen say? She's got tiger blood.
Tiger blood.
Like, she's almost never sick. And same for me, living, obviously, with her. And the kids, two kids in school now, like, yeah, there's no doubt that I've definitely got sick, but, like, this whole winter, I didn't get sick once. And we had 2 bouts of the flu, did no COVID this time, and then I think there was a respiratory, like, norovirus thing.
From Carly or something gave it to
Declan, whatever she had.
Whatever that was.
But me and Mel, nothing. Didn't get anything. Kids went through the ringer, but
I can say like I think maybe not Brienne and Ollie I know weren't feeling good through the summer, through the winter and stuff. I think I got sick right after my birthday, which for some reason it always happens. Like whenever growing up, it hit my birthday, and the next thing you know, I'm like out for a week, whatever. I think I got like I was sick for a couple days. I had to take like a week off, stream in all that stuff. But like since then, you know, we're golden.
Well, you know, and it's funny you said because your birthday's in December, so
it's
so funny when people be like, "Oh, it's cold out, you're gonna catch a cold." Just so you know, that's a complete. Lie.
It's
a complete fucking lie. It has nothing to do with that. It's because people are stuck indoors with their own germs that they bring home from work or whatever. Or if you're not keeping a clean place, that's why you get sick in the winter more than you get in the summer. Because in the summer you're outside.
Or it's almost like the people who have the dirtier places don't get sick. Right.
Well,
because the people who keep it clean, they're like, oh, we delete every.
You think, like, homeless people, you think they die off a lot sooner?
No, they live forever.
They live forever.
Like but then you have the houses you come in, they're like, I'm Cloroxing the door handles and everything because kills 99.9.
What's the level of it though?
Well,
right? like you can't live in a fucking laboratory. Clean Clorox. Either.
But like
you have to kind
of look at it though, and it kills 99.9% of bacteria. Well, some of that's good bacteria. Like you need some of that.
Absolutely.
Like you need it. So yeah. So I feel like
it's this balancing of.
I feel like
you need enough bacteria in your house and stuff, but you need to keep away the bad ones.
Right. Like so it's like the mold and the mildew and like that one. Right. But like you know, no, 100%. Right. Where you're just like, oh, we gotta wipe down everything. Like no, like. It's okay, you know.
Yeah.
It's you don't have to live in a spot-free house. Kids get sick.
That's what
kids need to get sick. That's how they get stronger.
Kids get sick.
I used to always relate it to like whenever I'd get sick, right, and it'd bring me down. And I was at my weakest, right, and then and then as your body like heals itself, right, because it heals itself, right, and then I'd be like, dude, I'm a Saiyan. I'd be like,
you know,
come
back even stronger.
Yes, come back even stronger. Yes, because that sickness will not affect you again for
a certain amount of time.
Yeah, right, until it evolves, obviously, because the sickness evolves, then your body's got to.
But your body has the antibodies for it, or knows,
you know,
it's familiar with it.
I think.
So then
I think Isaac Newton said it best. You know, adapt or die. You know.
I'm pretty sure that was Darwin.
Maybe it was Charles Darwin. That's what I meant.
Charles Darwin.
Yeah, Isaac. He was the one who was all like physics
and
stuff.
Force equals mass times acceleration.
Yeah, he said that too. But yeah, Charles Darwin, that's what I meant, because evolution, Darwin, yeah. Adapt or die, dude.
Newton's the apple guy.
Yeah, yes.
Gravity.
Yep, gravity. Yep. That's what I was thinking, dude. You know, like I said, the facts are up here. Sometimes they get scrambled a little bit.
Oh, by the way, from last week, it was Generals.
Yeah, it was Gen Eds.
I watched it last
Gen
week.
Eds.
And the funny thing, we did this obviously off camera when we were done. I called Brienne, and I said...
No, we went upstairs.
No, I called her on the phone. because I couldn't take it anymore because we hung down here a little bit longer. So then I called her and I go, hey, what are those classes, that you take like your first couple of years? Like, those like general. It's fucking generals. Okay, thank you, bye. And
we were sitting there, Gen Eds! Oh my God.
Oh my God, we were so mad. Because like I just watched the last episode and I was like looking at it and I'm like, dude, that really fucked me up for the remaining of the episode because I couldn't.
Dude, I got so much like hate in my Twitch chat. They were like, I was screaming at the screen, like, just let it go and move on. I was like, dude, we can't. We gotta get it.
It's horrible. Like you see me, like you were talking and I just went like. And I'm just trying to think of it, and like I'm not listening to you talk at all, and I'm like trying to think of it because that's what it is. It's just this little worm in your brain.
Like I said, it was.
Because like people are like, oh, I get that too. I get a little song in my head. Like you don't understand. Like I need to solve this
right now,
or I'm worthless for however long this is.
Yeah, like I would be depressed.
It's not like, oh, I keep singing the same song, silly me.
No.
If I don't do this.
Right
I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Yes.
Like
100%.
This is gonna fuck up my week.
100%.
But
yeah.
No, but anyway, yeah, with health and like fitness and stuff like that, I mean, that's what we talked about too, like getting Jackson out, back on that running routine, or we were talking about where we did it, did it 4 or 5 times that week. Well, then we got hit with 20 degrees again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, shit, like I don't want them out there. And we got hit with a blizzard.
Yep.
Where we randomly got like a foot of snow.
Yeah,
and then
we got it was like something like
like
18. No,
like
we had.
Oh, you had more over here,
dude. In the driveway, like as you're going down the driveway, it slopes down. It was level across, and then the snowplow came through, and obviously it was 3 feet. It was up to like my waist, dude. I was like, what the? I was so mad.
Oh, dude,
and it was the heavy stuff too.
I don't know. I remember talking about it to somebody. I don't know if I said it on here already, but those fucking plow truck drivers.
Dude,
I
think I was talking to you. I think I was talking to you, and I was like, dude,
100%.
Because I mentioned it because I had a shovel.
I know they're doing their job.
When we went out that night to Two Rivers.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there, and I was just like, I gotta say, like, I appreciate plow truck drivers. I appreciate them,
workers,
but fuck you guys.
Well, my thing is like, so I remember I got up, I plowed 3 times that day. I got up, and I was like, fuck. Because I thought I was up till like probably midnight, 1 o'clock, because I was going to plow early, but the snow never came.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Because it was raining, actually.
Yeah.
At midnight. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe it'll just be icy tomorrow. Not a big deal. Go to bed, wake up. Everything is like, it's like iced snow. It's not fluffy
It was
snow.
like the slush.
It's
but
horrible.
to be fair, it was great snowball.
Yes.
Weather. Like you could make.
Yes, but I have to go to work with my
shitty
did. Little Ford Focus.
Brian happened to be off that day, which was nice because she would have plowed right through it and then stuck it on, and then she'd been stuck.
Out, fine. What I literally I got up early. I went down and I like plowed the driveway a little bit. Or no, I'm sorry. I plowed enough just outside the garage and like to the cars and stuff. And then I'm like, fuck this, I'm late for work. So I jumped, and Mel had school off. That's right. So then I took the truck and I plowed right through the end of my shit. Just said, fuck it. Put it in reverse, went out. Go to work. I come home on lunch. I get 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Get home, I pull in, fucking mountain.
Yep.
Outside my thing, I'm like, fuck. So I parked on the side of the road. I run up. I spent 15 minutes plowing my fucking thing, and it's wet.
Yeah, it's the heavy.
So
it's the heavy stuff.
Horrible with the plow or my little snowblower. So I'm doing that and going through. I finally get it good enough. Whatever. I go in to eat, and I scarf down my whole meal in like 5 minutes. And I'm like, all right, kiss. Gotta go. All right, see you guys. Gotta go. Bye. Walk out. Another fucking mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, those guys wait. They like watch the street.
Hey,
see
let's
the guy
mess with this guy.
And go, all right, 10 minutes. 10 minutes, I'm going to hit that fucker again. And sure enough,
dude, like I said,
big ass mountain. I got home and I had to plow again.
I appreciate the people that do it, but like respectfully, fuck you guys. Because
I mean,
I got down, and let me tell you, when I got to the end, dude, it was so high and so heavy, I couldn't just hit my shovel under and break it up. I was coming from the top. I had to break it up from the top.
Yeah.
And then like big enough pieces were falling where I set the shovel down and I was hucking like 40-pound like chunks of snow, right? Which whatever, right? I got it cleaned. I got it nice. I was like super happy about it. Went out with you. Next morning, I wake up. I look outside. I'm like, yo, still good. Everything looks great, right? And this is at like 8:20. feed the kids. I check out again like 8:40. Everything's great. I'm like, okay, cool. All right, kids, we got to go. We're going to be late. I popped the garage door open at about 9 o'clock. Freaking another 2 feet of snow at the end of my drive. I was like, I literally turned around. I was like, you got to be shitting me.
I know that it would take forever for the city workers, so you could increase their pay, whatever, or get them out sooner, whatever. They get more time, overtime, whatever. But they should build an attachment, and every, like, you plow the street, right? Because a lot of streets just are just curb. So plow the street, get to your driveway, have another secondary arm that comes out, and just goes,
and it
takes
the end with you.
Little enough of it, or like cuts it off so it can't do it, or just puts it out, right? Just puts it out so that they're like, all right, we got a driveway. So then it just like saves that snow, lift the arm, plow it so it goes onto the curbside, gets to the next one, saw it, scrape it, do it. Even if they did that half the time.
Dude, I'm just so mad. I was so mad at that. It was funny. Like
I was fucking smart.
Mavis was like, what? Did those idiots do it? I'm like, yes, they did. Get in the car. It's cold. So I had to put her in. I turned the car on so it would be warm for the kids. I went down to the edge of the driveway. I shoveled out enough space so that I could drive. Came home, put Mavis in the house, put the dog in the house because I bring Lola with to drop Ollie off at school. Put the dog in the house. She's like, I want to play in the snow. I'm like, do not open that door. I'm not in the mood right now. It's too cold. Yep. I closed it, and I had to shovel. I spent another 30 minutes. I was out there for an hour and a half shoveling the day before, and then I had to spend 30 minutes just breaking up the, like, thick ice chunks, like snow chunks at the end of my driveway. Like and it was another foot and a half.
Well, the kids think it's great, too, and like you said, it's great snowball weather. Yeah, they built a snowman. The school had a little contest, sending pictures on your snow day for your whatever. So I'm like, great, but you guys aren't the fuckers that are cleaning that shit.
Yeah,
off
I have to.
So we can exist. Oh, man.
Exactly.
Anyway, sorry. I was just saying. So anyway, now that that's gone again, we're going to try to start that 5 a.m. run in the morning.
Dude, heck yeah,
Jackson's really taking to it. He really wants to get bigger, stronger.
Good.
It's cool.
See, Ollie hasn't hit that, I guess, like wall yet. I don't know. I feel like Ollie's a little bit more of a creative. Like he likes to spend a lot more time like with the piano, with
100%,
with building stuff, with drawing something. And dude, his drawings are getting they're getting good. Like you're looking, you're like, oh, you're starting to implement like backgrounds. You're doing like, people there. You're adding, stuff to it. And like now, obviously, art is subjective, right? And it's my child, so I'm biased, but. They're getting good enough to be like, dude, like that's all right. Like you drew a whole ass picture,
Aria really likes Play-Doh. She's another creative, so she likes to draw and do all this stuff. And drawing's good, spelling's good. She can read good. She's very top of her class that way. But she really likes Play-Doh. So we've got her like every Play-Doh thing you can get, right? Because she'll just go in her room and she'll be fine for like a couple hours. So that's great for us. It's great for her. Great. She watched an episode of, she likes MasterChef Junior. So she likes to watch that stuff and like see what they're cooking. She went along and made every meal. Because they make 3 meals. She did all 3 meals in Play-Doh.
Dude, that's awesome.
And she comes out, she goes, this is the first course. And she came out and I was like, what do we got here? And she was like,
all right,
this is this,
we're doing this.
And this and this. And then she's saying the terms that they use in the show. And I was like, she doesn't know what that is.
Yeah, I flambéed.
Yeah, when they say when they say what it is, I made this tamponade of whatever. She's like, yeah, but she's just making what she sees.
Yeah, right.
So she's like, that's what this is. And then this is what this. I didn't really have the color to make what they had, so then I just made whatever I wanted, and she put like, I don't know, blueberries in it.
Little roll.
It was just
balls.
Something, yeah.
Dude,
but
that's
she
awesome.
takes the time to make the things, and I was like, all right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like
that's awesome.
Jackson, no.
Yeah. See, and I feel like I don't know. It's too early to tell with Mavis, obviously, but looking at it, she's more of my brute. I feel like she's gonna be my athlete.
Yeah, I think she will be too. I think we have the reverse.
Like looking at it, like she's gonna be the one that's just like the competitive. Like, no, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be first. And Ollie's more of the. It's okay, guys. Like we're all here having a great time. Like, let me show you this cool. And like, but the thing is too, like with like the piano stuff, I can show them like one little ditty, like one little tune, and within like 2 days, he's over there just do.
Well, and that's where we have, we just want to expose them to it. So then.
And then we know what they like, right?
Yeah.
So then we can kind of gear them towards that.
Yep.
I would love for Ollie to be like, I want to wrestle. I want to do this. But like I said, if he wants to do that, like, as long as he's not over there just slamming random keys and stuff, and he's actually playing something, like, I'm fine with it.
Well, and you're saying for like wrestling and stuff, like, you've brought him to the things, you've given him the opportunities to find it fun. But if he doesn't like take to it immediately, I mean, granted, like you said, it's still early though. I mean, there's like 4 or 5 years before he really like can get into it. But like with Jackson, like it's just athletics, the ability to move in space and stuff, and like obviously he likes video games and stuff. But like reading, he doesn't really give a shit. He can read just fine, but he doesn't really care to. Arya's like, I can't wait to make my library collection in my room of books. He doesn't care. He's like, that's stupid. And
that's stupid.
But like he's all about like, yeah, see this? Like he'll come up and goes, Dad, check it out. All the time. I'm like, cool, man, that's great.
Dude, and
bigger.
It's funny to see like the differences that both of them. Because like I'll go in there and I'm like, I'm gonna run on the treadmill, and he's like, can I come work out with you? I'm like, yeah, you can. I'm gonna jump on the trampoline 100 times. I'm like, let's do it. So I'm like jogging, and she's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, and she's like, what is she goes? 13, 15, 17, 19, 12, 13.
Yeah.
We're missing some numbers.
She just ends and goes 100.
Gotta work on math. But I mean, she'll go at it. Or like I'm sitting there like, and I'm lifting, and she's like, I'm gonna do it with you. And she's like lifting the little yellow 5-pound dumbbells. Just look at me, Daddy. Look.
Dude, today we were sitting there, we were doing our workouts, and Mel was trying to she had finished her workout, so she was keeping the kids busy while I was finishing mine. And she was like, all right, we're gonna do push-ups, so then Arya's over there trying to do push-ups. Mel's doing, the assisted push-ups on her knees, doing it. And Jackson's doing them. And he's got decent form now. Before it was like, like the arm flex. It was like dragging like a seal, Like I'm like, all right, you got to keep your butt up. He did like 2 or 3. And then he does this move where he puts the arm out and puts the one arm behind his back to do a one-handed push-up.
And fell on his face.
And he thankfully he spread his legs.
Okay, good. I was gonna say because if he kept,
so he spread his legs and he went down like maybe like this much. It went back up and he's like, he gets up and I looked at Carl, the guy we lift with. I was like, you see that? It's fucking one-handed push-up right there. He goes, not bad, because he saw Vegeta or
right.
He's like, there's a one-handed push-up. Check it out. I'm like, all right, man. You're doing great. You're doing great.
It was great.
But yeah, Arya, hey, you want to go for a run? Nah.
No, that is funny.
Doesn't care.
What was the story? It was, why aren't you running? Because all the boys are doing it. I don't want to do it.
No. She doesn't even. She's like, no, it's hard, and I don't really like running.
I don't do it.
Well, she's just so honest.
Yeah.
I don't really like running. I don't like working hard or
sweating. See, and that's where.
Okay. Well, at least
Like, see, and that's the thing. Ollie, I wish I could say he's like super honest. He's not. Like, you give him food, he's like, oh yeah, this is great. It's like, dude, if you don't like it, say you don't like it. If you say it's great,
no,
I'm gonna keep cooking it, right? Like it. No, and he's just, like, I feel like he's still afraid to hurt somebody's feelings. Like, he just tell you, where Mavis will be like, that's ugly.
Well, I mean, that's how I grew up, where it was like, you just ate what you ate.
Yep.
Even if you don't like it, like I said, like we apologized to our mothers earlier. Like, I still ate all the food.
Mm-hmm. I ate it all.
I thought it wasn't that good, but I still ate it because it's food. But like, my sister got the ability to be like, this is gross. I don't like this. I'm like, you're going to be outside in the shit. How dare you? How dare you curse our mother and father that way? And, she was just like, yeah, fuck this shit. I'll have some toast and go to bed. And you're like, all right. And now they have my daughter is just like, same way. This is gross. What's in this? Yuck. And I go, well, you're eating it. She goes, no, I'm not. I'm like, well, you're going to sit there until you fucking eat it. We've had a lot of standoffs.
Yep.
And like I told you, it comes down to it. I don't care if this sounds bad, but I look at them, I go, either you do it or I do it. That's what I tell them. And they'll look at me, they're like, what do you mean? I go, either you eat it or I'm going to make you eat it. And there has been a time I have had to stuff noodles into my children's faces so that they eat their food. I have done it.
Yeah.
Guess what? The second I say that now, okay, Just go to it now. But we've really opened it up.
But I was going to say, if you guys are wondering, their kids are running upstairs. They're healthy. They're fine. They're happy. All right. So don't take it as,
they're fine. They're fine.
God dang it, man. The kids are all right.
Settle down.
But shoot, man.
There's a lot of love in our house.
Should probably wrap her up here, huh? Getting to that point.
Yeah. Probably need another beer.
Yeah. Big shout
I
out.
got shit to do today.
Big shout out. Let's shout out Mark Norman. Hey. Oh. Hey. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen any of his specials, go check him out. He's a funny comedian.
Hilarious.
Mark Norman. He's got some good stuff. Joe Rogan Experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Two Bears. Just watched their one. I was watching it last night. Actually, it was very funny.
So if you
they
guys,
got some good points.
If they ever want us on again, we'll throw it out there. We're free.
We'll
make time.
This.
One of these
we
days.
Get to 100 episodes, and we're gonna clip it all together and just send it to them and just see if we get anything back.
So
we're gonna get to 100
episodes. Please talk to us.
Yeah.
But anyways,
be like, no.
We've been going out kind of on a motivational note. Do you got anything to end on today?
You know, you told me that earlier, and I was like, shit, I don't have anything. And then through our amazing conversation we had today, I still don't have anything. So let's see here.
We gotta leave them with something to lift the spirits.
Gotta be something
to lift the spirits,
even if it's cheap. Let's see here. Well, you know what? I'll do a little play-by-play. Something we talked about earlier, kind of that self-fulfilling prophecy. If you don't think you can do something, you're probably not going to do it. So go into it with an open mind. Believe you can. And even if you fall short, at least you tried. I think that's kind of a big deal. I think people get too in their head like, oh, I don't like that, or I can't do that, or I'm really bad at that. It's like, well, you were probably bad at it 10 years ago, or 15 years ago, or 20 years ago. Just try it again. It might come easier this time.
Exactly.
You understand the process of how it works. It's not like to say you cannot do it. I bet you can. You're not trying enough, or you just like written yourself off. Don't do that. Just
exactly. Rome was not built in a day, everybody.
No, we talked about that 1% thing earlier too. It's like
1% better
get a
every
little
day.
Bit better.
1% better.
Yeah.
If I'm 1% better today.
Yep. Eventually it will click, and you'll be like, holy shit.
Yep.
I'm amazing.
Yep.
And it's okay to feel that way too. Just stay away from the victim mentality. If somebody says why you can't do something and it starts with because something or someone else, stop that. Stop that immediately. You need to have an open mind. You are responsible for virtually everything that happens in your life. So, circumstances, whatever, if you come in and you say like, well, I can't do that because of this XYZ, it's not because of XYZ. You're playing the victim card, and you're having them hold power over you. Why can't you do it? Just go do it right now. I do that to Mel all the time. Why can't you do that? Well, I gotta do it. Like, no, go do it right now. Go do it right now.
Dude,
stop everything you're doing. Go do it right now.
No, it's true, man.
She'd be like, well, I just said, no, just go do it right now. And then she does it, like she panders to me and just kind of walks through it. I go, oh, look at it. You did it. Like, stop putting those labels on yourself. Stop bringing yourself down.
You guys, just remember, you can only control what you can control.
Absolutely.
Right? And think about that. You might think I'm just talking in circles here, but realistically, you can only control what you can control, guys.
And the things you can't control, let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go. If it's 100% outside your hands, then don't worry about it.
Facts.
Be good. Good things happen.
But
right,
yes, let's end it right there, guys. You
we
can
go.
only control what you can control. Remember that. We'll see you guys next time. ADHDads out. Peace. ADHDads.
ADHDad.